Hi everyone, my name is Genevieve Noel and welcome to my channel.
The only heartache that I ever faced was a need of fortune and a dream of fame. I took those empty feelings and turned them into love. It cheats time, it's the eye in the storm of the universe. I got mine. Where do you think that you will find your
For those of you who are new here, this channel follows my 2020 goals and me reaching them. One thing that I'm really sorry for right off the bat is the wonky angle of the camera and the fact that I'm kind of like looking down or like hunching. My setup is just poor at the moment because, you know, we're still on our trip and it makes it a little bit difficult. Today's video is going to be me reviewing my goals because it's been a while since I touched on these, and when I started pumping out a bunch of new videos, it was a lot of like catch up on things or new stuff that had happened and just development on that front, and I haven't really touched on a lot of my goals since then, and I've been doing a lot of pregnancy baby stuff, so I'm going to reach into my goals and check everything and look at it and let you know where I am. So goal number one is to get monetized on YouTube. I've actually made really good strides on this since getting back into the YouTube game after a couple of months off during the beginning of my pregnancy, and since posting about my pregnancy. It is a popular topic, so of course it's going to get me a little bit more in terms of views and watch hours, but right now I am at 32 subscribers and 45 watch hours. Now, if you want to help a girl out, I would love your support. Whether you're subscribing or you know someone you're going to suggest me to, I appreciate it. That being said, I am getting a lot closer to that goal, and part of it is the consistency at which I've been putting out my videos, like clockwork, because I had so many that I just kind of like, I scheduled them all to go out at a certain time so that I wouldn't forget, but so I could still enjoy my vacation. My second goal is to finish Just Your Typical Super Spy. I have been working on writing while I've been here. I haven't worked on it extensively, but I am almost 200 pages into the book. In my mind, it's about a 300-page book. Like, that's where I like my range is, probably a little less than 300 pages, but in that range. So I'm at the point where I'm 2/3 of the way through the story. I have a third left to go. It's going to be a really big focus for me when I'm not working, when I go back, because I have been feeling so much better and so much more motivated to get things done, whether that's on YouTube or seeing people or writing. I've just been working on it all. Number 3 is to get out twice weekly. Now, this was a huge thing when I was pregnant and it was difficult and a bunch of different stuff and like COVID and all that jazz. I have been getting out like every single day since we've been on this trip, so that's been really easy for me to accomplish, and that goal is going really well. Work out once weekly. I go on a lot of walks, especially now that I am here, and I would say that that is constituting my workout just because I am pregnant and my knees can't quite hold up as much as they did before. I just have a lot of other like physical pain things that kind of keep me from doing what I used to be doing in my workout situation. But with all the walking that I have been doing, I feel as though I have been working out at least once a week, and besides, you know, like the baby belly situation going on, I've stayed pretty healthy. I feel like the weight that I put on is in the right place for me as a pregnant woman, but honestly, I lost 6 pounds between getting pregnant and then like the first 11 weeks of my pregnancy. I lost 6 pounds. I went from 135 to 129. And then between my first and second prenatal appointment, which was 4 weeks, I lost another pound, even though I was eating. So I was like, I don't really know what is going on. And then since that appointment, I have been kind of like periodically, like if someone has a scale in their house, I'll stand on it and check my weight just to see like, have I gained any weight on this trip? Is it just fluctuating? And I have a little bit, so that's been kind of cool. Number 5 is an accomplished goal to get my morning and evening routine set. Obviously, while we're on our trip, we don't really have as much of a routine, but just getting out of bed and doing certain things in the morning or before bed, making sure I do certain things that I wanted to get done, that was my whole goal in terms of setting a routine. And I really think that I've gotten there and just falling into more routines in general. I've noticed that in life it's a lot harder to set a routine or to stick to a routine when you're going through a certain point. So like that college age and like later high school, when you probably work a job with weird hours, or you're going to school and that's got weird hours or whatever, and things just, you do stuff when you have time or when other people are available. And so it makes it hard to set a routine. But ever since getting married and like having a regular job and then, that consistency, it's been helping a lot with the routines. Reading daily Bible. This one I fluctuate between doing really well and not doing really well. Being back has been a help in certain ways and not in others, because I'm like, man, I don't have time to sit down and read a whole chapter. But we usually will have more discussions or listen to a Bible study or things like that. So it's kind of fluctuating, but that's one that I don't really know how to film and show you guys as much. So if you have any ideas, please suggest. Number 7 is another accomplished goal that I have, which is have a successful dance quarter. And I would say that it was successful for the time that we were in dance, but obviously it's done now. And like the pandemic stopped it short, which was unfortunate, but we did our best in the time that we had. And so that's why I say it was a successful goal accomplishment. Number 8 was to get pregnant. I am pregnant. So sounds pretty self-explanatory. If you have questions, go and check out my videos. I'll link the playlist of all the pregnancy videos down below. Number 9 is to pursue music. This is pretty tricky back at home, just because I didn't have any instruments. I didn't really have anything that I could do. I felt like I couldn't really do a whole lot. Like my creativity was just really drained. So I haven't been working on it a ton, but since being back, I've gotten back into like practicing music and singing more daily. So that's something that I'm going to reassess when we get home, and kind of like, how can I do this with the limited resources that I have? And just like that kind of thing. Number 10 is to save $4,000. That is in our monetary goals. Obviously, we're on our trip right now, so we haven't really been focused on the saving aspect. It's been in mind because one thing that has been really big for us is realizing that when we do come back, we are going to want to buy a house. But we haven't been able to put a lot into that because we are working more on goal number 11, which is to be debt-free. Now, the last time that I updated this, I don't remember where exactly I was, but we are technically three debts, but 2 bills and a debt away from being totally debt free. Another one of my goals, number 12, was to sign a 2020-2021 school year contract. And I did have this whole period where I was offered a teaching job in Texas, but because of the baby, I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to commit to that in the way that you need once the baby is born. And I'm not the type of person that lets people down in like, this is my job, this is my responsibility, this is what I need to do for you. So I was like, I can commit to 6 months, but I can't commit to the full year. And they were not willing to work with that. And I don't know if it was just they weren't giving me all of my options and they like just assumed that I knew, or if they just really didn't want to work with me. But I was like, I told you from the like get-go of this, I told you during my interview, don't hire me if you're not willing to work with me for only this amount of time. So I'm still working on that. I'm trying to find, I won't be signing with a school this year. However, I am looking for a job, literally anything. And I will kind of update that as I hopefully find something. But I am working on still trying to find a job, at least until the baby's born. Number 13 was a successful move to Texas. We are successfully moved in. We have adjusted to our lifestyle there. Everything is good, so that is an accomplished goal. Number 14 is posting weekly on all platforms. I've been doing super stellar at posting on my YouTube and posting on my website every single week. My Instagram, I'm kind of fluctuating with, but since it is Friday today when I'm filming this video, I'm like in a work mindset of like, okay, I've got my YouTube up, I need to get my this up and this up and this up and whatever. Number 15, get Gregory a new car, or get just like a new car for our family. We've realized that this is going to be super huge and important, and we've talked to a couple of people about it. I think we've decided on sort of the type of car that we want to get. We do want to get like a smaller SUV, like mid-sized SUV, where we have at least 5 seats, if we can get third row seating, that'd be even, like really cool that we can like remove. But we just want storage space, hauling ability, and a bigger car in general. Number 16 is take time to relax. This being here on this trip has been a lot more relaxing. Like I said in a previous video, I have not been really stressed on this trip, even though there's been, or just since like getting pregnant, I've just like let so many things go because I'm like, it's not worth it. And it was such a good thing for me. And I've been so relaxed that it's awesome. Number 17 is another accomplished goal: to build a healthy diet. I do have a healthy diet. We have a fairly good schedule of what we eat and don't eat. And we are going to be working on me making a little bit more meals and doing less of like the every plate, because as much as I love the every plate, the meals are a little bit limited, and there are some things that they just don't serve because of how cheap they are with their product, which is great, but there are things that I want to make that I can't with what they provide. So we're going to be working on doing a little bit less of the every plate and a little bit more of like me trying to actually cook things. Number 18 is to finish the Pregnancy Letters, Blessings in Disguise. My secondary book. Again, I'm focusing on finishing that first book first because I'm about halfway done with Blessings, to the point where like, I don't know, it's just kind of hard because it's talking about pregnancy. So I'm like, maybe I should just wait until I'm that far along in my pregnancy. So I'm trying to pound out just your typical super spy, so that when I get to that place in my pregnancy, I can start talking about it a lot more and actually know what I'm talking about, because experience is honestly the best teacher. Number 19 is to learn a new instrument. I have been working on learning ukulele because I don't have a ukulele and no ability to buy one at the moment, because we're working on paying off our debt and we're on a trip right now. So there's a lot more money like being expended into that. That's kind of been put on hold. It's kind of that one with the other music goal where I'm just going to kind of like wait it out and try and see what I can do once we're in a more stable position. Number 20, and my final goal, which I could not think of for a super long time, but I finally realized what I need, is to be ready for baby. Now, there is a video coming up about a week after this one will come out, I think, where I talk about the gender reveal and you get to see what gender our baby is. By that point in time, I'll make sure that it's confirmed by the ultrasound, because if it's wrong, then that would be pretty funny. And I want to be ready by the end of the year, just because you never know if your baby will be early or late or whatever. And because the end of January is so close to the end of the year, it's a goal to have for the end of the year. These are the updates on all of my goals for 2020. I've accomplished 5 out of the 20 goals, so I have about 15 left to go. Some of them I'm thinking, unfortunately, I may not be able to accomplish, but that's kind of how goals work. You work your hardest and you do your best, and sometimes you don't get there, but it's something to work towards that you can, add to your list for next year. That being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry about the awkward camera angles and like things being kind of, but I appreciate all of you guys so much. And it's been so fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell down below for when awesome new videos come out. You will get a notification. Thanks for watching. Love, Genevieve.